Hello everybody, it's me, and welcome back to the video. Now, in this video, I am going to be talking about a little theory, may I say. I'm going to be talking about a little theory, and it's about Awakens. And I know I've been doing a lot of Awakened stuff as of recent, but this is about Awakened Voltenchant and Cerebopod. Now, as you know, they haven't recently been announced as the next Doodles to get Awakens this weekend, and I am super duper excited, specifically for Voltenchant, and I have come up with some theories, and I'm just really hoping that they come true, because I'm not gonna lie, from what I've thought of, if this does come true, it's gonna be cool as heck. But I'm very excited to talk about it today. I'm gonna be having some battle footage playing in the background, so it's not just me staring into your soul while I just narrate off of a unwritten script that I don't have. I don't actually have a script for this. Sometimes I write things, but I haven't really done that. Regardless, it is time. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy, and let's get straight into it. Alright, real quick, before we actually get into the video, I just want to say that nothing in this video at all, besides me showing the stats and some other things, everything about the Awakens is purely theory. None of it is 100% confirmed. I just want to make that 100% clear. Nothing in this video is 100% confirmed. It's just purely me theorizing and having a good time. Anyway, let's get back to it. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is I'm going to talk about Awakened Cerebopod. Now, you might have expected Voltenchant, but I want to keep Voltenchant because I have a lot to say about it. Awakened Cerebopod, the idea of it is really interesting. It is it's a mixed defensive refresh switch in. It's able to set up magical shield. It's just a supportive refresh user that also has fairly decent coverage. It has rust and toxic bomb, which, if you don't know, rust with poison coverage is honestly very, very strong. Very few things are able to resist it, along with it also having mind coverage to hit things like Lumaline that want to wall it out, or just like crystal types in general. Cerebopod is very strong in its moveset that it has. But you might be thinking, if you're an experienced PvP player, you're going to know, wait, if it awakens, it's gonna lose the best thing about it. What's the best thing about it? Refresh and longevity, along with crayons or spiky thorns. The reason why Cerebopod is so strong and why it's really good is because of the refresh trait, which once you switch out and you switch back in, you're gonna restore 30% of your max HP, which is really, really good. But if it awakens and it loses that, sorry, I've been having congestion recently, so I'm sorry if I sound weird. But if it awakens and it loses refresh, oh crap. Suddenly the best thing about Cerebopod is completely gone, which is its passive recovery, so you don't actually need to run crayons. You could run spiky thorns and be a good hit and run chip. But awakened and it loses that's not very good. So I also decided to look at my favorite Awakened concepts for both Voltenchant and Cerebopod, and I picked one out for each of them, and I'll go ahead and show you what Cerebopod's awakening could look like. We'll show it on screen now. As you can see, it has a really cool spiky shield it is holding up, and it just looks very menacing with that terrifying looking stare. It totally looks like it could be a poison and metal type, which would be very interesting if we got another poison and metal type, along with it having mercury puddle already. That's really good. Along with that percentage chance to poison, it could pair well with toxic bomb if you end up getting that 1 in 5, but I still refuse to believe mercury puddle actually poisons. It has never ever poisoned for me, ever. And along with me finding my favorite concepts for Awakening Cerebopod and Voltenchant, I also made stats for each awakened form, which I'm going to be going 100 on Cerebopod and 75 on Voltenchant respectively, because Tufflaze and Voltenchant actually have the exact same base stat total, and the only difference between them is, the Tufflaze gets 75 stats when it awakens, and Cerebopod has like base 405, and it like needed a little bit of a glow up. So yeah, the stats are on screen now. And yeah, I mean, stats are pretty fine. HP doesn't change, of course. 55 attack is just added in. 120 defense, I feel like it looks more like a melee defensive thing with this big shell. And of course, it's only off of this specific concept. And it seems pretty solid, along with a 115 magic attack can do some good damage. The 110 magical defense is also really, really strong. Along with it, if it does indeed become a poison metal type, it would very easily be beaten by most earth types, seeing as it is not able to hit most earth types very hard, because it also would lose its mind stab, which is a very important thing for it to have, because it wants to be able to hit crystal types harder than for it to be a 2-hit KO rather than 3-hit KO. But with the 115 magical attack it does have, it is going to be able to be on the field for quite a while. And honestly, seems like it would be a pretty solid awakening choice if you are indeed looking for a nice defensive awakening. And I kind of do like it. I do like all the stats, though it does look like it'd be very irritating and hard to get off of the field if it did indeed keep the refresh trait. I feel like if it did awaken and it lost an ability, or lost its best ability, it would probably gain retaliate, or it would gain strong armor. And then it could be given solid charge once afterward. Or unless it just, I don't really know, but this is what I could realistically think of. The 120, 115, 110 seems completely fine for me. And overall, it just seems completely fine for Cerebopod to have. I don't really see any issues with it. And overall, seems pretty solid, nice and bulky, still able to be a good support unit with its awakening. It's able to set up magical shield, lingering poison. The only issue is I don't think it has rest, from what I remember, and you would be relying on mind drain, you know, and dark types would be pretty decent against you. But yeah, honestly, pretty nice. But now it is time to talk about Voltenchant. As you all know, I completely love Voltenchant. It is 100% my favorite Doodle in the entire game. Not really even that close. I've just always really liked Voltenchant. As you know, REMMY does exist and is a very fun thing. I used to use it a lot more than I do now. The reason I haven't been using REMMY as much is specifically because it lost the move Rust, which is what made it so strong. I remember some people in PvP chat saying that it was still kind of mid, even with Rust. I don't really think so. I think it was very good with Rust, and it was probably its dream move. And once Rust was removed, it was a little upsetting. But honestly, if it got an awakening, it could be saved. There are actually 2 different awakenings that I want to show you, both of which can have the exact same stats. They would just have a little bit of a different ability. So I want to go into that now. So this is the first awakening that I think I like a little bit more than the other one, right here. As you can see, it's so cool. It has like some little orbs around its little ring. It's kind of revolving. It's got the spark type right there. And this is, from what I remember, it could be a spark and mind type. It could be very cool that way. With it also having spark mind, it would gain stab on Psychoforce, which is good against crystal types, being able to get more effective one-hits on them, which is really cool. And the other one I'll go ahead and show, I feel like the same stats could work with this thing. It kind of reminds me of incarnate form of the Weather Trio, Landorus, Tornadus, and Thunderous. Reminds me of that. And I feel like what could be interesting is if the Spark Mind Voltenchant, I'm not sure what its ability would be. I would assume something, maybe like Routine could be sick. It just does a lot of damage. Routine would be kind of cool. But something that I saw that someone said that I really liked was the user's basic moves become water. So essentially, Climate Shot becomes a stab. So you could use Shock Therapy, Shockwave, Psychokinetic Launch, or Psychoforce along with Climate Shot, and suddenly you have your old coverage back on Voltenchant, though it is a little subpar because you don't actually hit metal types at all, but that's completely fine. But I think you're wondering about the stats. Now, I'll show the stats on screen now. And I honestly like them. It kind of keeps that unique thing about Voltenchant. 90 HP, 105 attack, 80 defense, 129 magic attack, 85 melee magic defense, and 121 speed. The 121 speed is nice because it keeps, of course, that keeps that unique thing about Voltenchant where it had, I think, 99 something defense or attack. 99 attack with 100 and something magic attack. And it keeps that same idea of it having a little bit more speed. and it takes it away from a different stat. Like, as you can see, the magic attack, it's taking from the speed, which makes it very, very fast. And if it got the routine ability, it would do so much damage and it would be super strong. Could definitely be a staple on rain teams once Thunderstorm is added. I could definitely see it being super good there. And overall, I really, really like it, and it'd be very, very sick to see something like this. And the Spark Mind could be cool. You could definitely also go with the Spark and Water, which is what I think most people are theorizing right now. And overall, I think that is pretty much it. There's so many potential options because Wish actually said that they are community-made Awakens, so there are going to be no silhouettes. So we don't know. It is out there somewhere, but we do not know what it is. I want to say that nothing in this video, nothing is 100% confirmed. This is purely a fan theory. I'll probably end up putting that at the beginning as well, because if people think this is real, I could get into a little bit of trouble. But yeah, just know that this, I said at the beginning, this is purely theorization, and it's nothing here is confirmed at all. But yeah, overall, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see everyone in the next video. See ya!